We're live.
Hello, hello, hello. This is Loyalty, and welcome to the Loyalty and Friends podcast. So, today we are spreading awareness on autism, and we have a special guest. Okay, so I definitely want to introduce Mr. Sam Mitchell. It is good seeing you today, my brother. Thank you so much for being a part of this podcast. And I have a co host, Mr. E.A. Eric Allen, or EA as we know him. He actually introduced me to Sam. And so I thought it'd be a great part for him to be a part of it for this one in particular, especially because he already knew Sam prior to me. So with that being said, Sam, we want to let you kind of introduce yourself, let the people know who you are, and a little bit about you as a person. The mic is on you.
All right. So hello, everyone out there. My name is Sam Mitchell. I run the podcast, Autism Rocks and Rolls, and it is about autism and how we cope with daily struggles that you may or may not understand. I ran since October 2019. I've had big guests such as Temple Grandin and who's the other one? Oh, yeah, Mick Foley. And some of my hobbies are creative writing and enjoying the great outdoors.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. So, Sam, this is such a pleasure just to really get to know you, my brother, and just to find out more just the behind the scenes because, we all do a lot of things. And I love the fact that you're doing a podcast based around something that you're passionate about. So let's get a little background information as far as you being on the spectrum, as we call it, right? So what age were you when you were diagnosed with autism?
4.
You were 4 years old? Okay. All right. And so just a question that I have, has it been a little difficult for you to communicate due to the fact that you have autism? Like, how's communication? How does that work?
Yeah, I would say at points in my life it's been difficult, but I just try to manage and try to get in the conversation, say what I need to say, and make it what I need to. If I have anything to add, I'll add it if I need it.
Yes,
That's kind of my view, at least.
I got a question.
Okay,
Off
go
the
right
top.
ahead.
Like, 'cause I'm studying. I got my notebook out. I'm a student today, right? I just want to be a student more than a talker. I'm a student. So, what is autism?
Well, there's a lot of definitions, but there's the society's view is a neurological condition that makes others think that we're incapable of having very unsuccessful, I would say, social cues, not picking up on functioning levels, on basic life skills such as cooking and driving. My definition, though, is a different way of thinking because it really is, because we'll still get there. It's just not going to be in the same path route as everyone else.
Right. I like that. I like that definition. That's the positive. That's the glass half full definition. Yes. Okay, back to you, Loyalty. I needed that. I just want to start there. Yes. Oh, we lost Loyalty. So yes, bro. So that's what autism is to you. So tell me a little bit more about the podcast, man. What does it consist of? Like, what do you talk about on the podcast? You said you had Nick Foley on there. Like, what were you talking about?
Well, fun fact for you, Mick Foley's son is on the autism spectrum. So
Oh.
that's his relation to that. So we talked about
Oh.
that, his wrestling career, big fan of pro wrestling. I would also say that I talk about certain behaviors of mine that are on the podcast. So I'm have foot and mouth syndrome. A lot of you guys can relate to this, but I have a lot of anxiety, anticipatory anxiety, and I compared some episodes. So I've actually compared autism to some out of the box things such as pinball, Scooby Doo, and Red Dead Redemption.
Dang, pinball.
Yep,
I
one of my
know what
special
that
interests,
means.
actually.
I know what that means. That's like when you bing bing bing, whoo, whoo, whoo. That's how it feels sometimes.
Yeah,
So what do
it's
you do?
really was like we go when we need to stop.
So what do you do to combat it? Like, how do you diffuse that?
And just get it as done as quick as possible.
That's the secret. Okay. Well, I see the Queen Loyalty is back. Okay, Loyalty. I see we having some technical difficulties across the board. Everybody is. So it's all good. We still gonna keep rolling. You and Loyalty
Yes,
and
we got
friends and the
look. The
Queen is
show
here.
must go on, as we know. The show must go
Yes,
on.
ma'am.
Yeah, so I think there's a lot of myths when it comes to people who are on the spectrum, or a lot of misperceptions, as I would say. But I tend to think that you all have a special gift that a lot of the rest of the world may not be in tune to, or don't have the talent to possess. So, what is your special gift? What is your superpower?
Well, my superpower is trying to be creative, I guess. So, as I said, I'm a very creative writer. I like to think outside the box. I come up with ideas that no one would probably think of. I'm hoping to do a lot of more creativity outside the nonprofit work. That's where it comes in. We create a lot of events. So in April, we're having I think I told Eric this when we first met. We're having a gala in April 2022. So about autism acceptance, and we're having a speaker. We're hoping for Rich Beto, who is the drummer for Finger 11. That's the initial plan, hopefully. But we're also going to have like an AR summer party where we have our local band playing. And I don't know if you ever heard of Duke Tomato, but he's a pretty good singer. If you haven't heard his music, cool, you gotta check it out if you like the blues rock style.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool. I'm liking that. So,
Blue Tomato.
about your about
Yeah,
your
yes
foundation.
sir, Duke Tomato.
Yes, I like that. So your foundation, how long have you all been doing the foundation? You have a nonprofit, is that right?
Yeah, that's been going on since 2020. It was kind of, well, the podcast started off as a hobby, really, but it actually grew so much very unexpectedly that I began to develop sponsors. We had some very cool sponsors. I've had a chocolate shop be a sponsor. Let's see who else. Farm Bureau, and like a service place for the elderly.
Oh, that's pretty dope. So what is your podcast about? Tell me more about that. Like, what type of
Well,
guests do you interview on your podcast?
Well, when you cut out, I just told Eric that, but I don't mind telling you again. It's
Oh,
about autism and how we cope with daily struggles that you may or may not understand. I've had big guests, Temple Grandin and Mick Foley. Fun fact, Mick Foley's son is on the autism spectrum, so that's why I had him. And I'm a big pro wrestling fan. I guess it's another of my special interests. But what we were talking about before you cut out is I also do some entertainment where I compare it outside the box. So I've compared
mhm.
pinball to autism, Scooby Doo to autism, and Red Dead Redemption to autism, which is a video game.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So is it sometimes hard to read facial expressions, when it comes to people, or reading people in general? Do you find it pretty difficult?
Oh yeah, that was actually that's my next episode. Not about facial expressions, but it's a part of it. So I mean, there's a story I can spoil a little bit. So I was doing a speed networking event, and this guy, he wasn't a mean guy. He was pretty cool, but he scratched his eye. I thought he rolled his eyes at me, when in
Oh my.
reality he was just scratching his eye.
Right. So that I can see how that can be challenging, just kind of misreading situations at times, for sure. And I got a question, okay? Have you ever, not maybe not intentionally, but have you, offended someone, in a way, and maybe kind of elaborate on that situation, like, and where you think your autism probably played a big role into that?
Oh yeah, I probably made some enemies and rubbed people the wrong way, but I learned that you really can't let that bother you, because I've learned so much easier to care what others don't think of you than care what they do. That's the side I've chosen on. The pro with that side is, yeah, you might make some enemies. That's kind of the con, but the pro is you feel relaxed, and that's what I'd rather have. Be relaxed than worry about everything else in the whole world. So yeah, but it doesn't bother me as much, and I probably have said something, but the truth is, I'd rather you hate me for something I am rather than love me for something I'm not.
Woo!
Oh, that
Quote from
that's
the
some good
Miz.
game.
Hey, say that again for the people in the back, bro.
Okay. I'd rather you hate me for something I am rather than love me for something I'm not. And that's a quote from the Miz. That's not my quote. I am not going to take credit for that.
Hey, you gave it to us live on Loyalty and Friends. I'm gonna let you have the credit, and then we'll give him his. Like, you know what they do? Like, I forgot what they do there. That's like a Well, you give somebody else their credit, but you definitely remixed it and made it your own because I heard you say it first. So I'm gonna let you have that one.
Okay, cool.
Okay, I think the queen is messed up again. I see her standing in one position. That's not a good sign. Yes, that is not a good sign.
Okay,
Well,
am
she's
I
up.
back?
You back
You're
now.
back.
Okay, thank you.
Or you were. You were. So where are you located, bro?
Indiana, like southern central-ish.
What? Look, I'm pulling up to the event. Are you doing the event this year? Because when you said it, you was talking about. I think you used the day 2022. I don't know what that day was. That was when you did it before, or is this the first
Yeah.
year you're doing it?
This is the second year. The first
Okay.
year I was last year. This is my second gala
So
that we are going
how
to
many
put on.
people? So how many people do you anticipate?
Well, we got over 100 last time, so we're hoping
Okay.
for more this time, but we'll see what happens. Really, that's because that's all you can do. But we'll see. But
Right.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. That sounds like a nice event to pull up on. I might have to pull up on you and just come attend it. You know, do some sponsors. I know you're gonna do some sponsor stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna pull up on you, brother. I'm thinking about
All
it.
right,
I'm
man.
really
Yeah.
thinking about it. Yeah, because I want to meet you in the flesh. I love the movement, man. Autism and what you're doing about raising awareness. And you're just a cool dude. We did talk off camera, man. And I like you and mom. You and mom got some really good things going on. And dad, like the nonprofit, y'all putting that paint where it ain't, bro. And I salute you. I salute you. Loyalty, are you back?
Yes, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Awesome, awesome. So yes, I'm back. So I think that's amazing that you have that family support because that goes a long way. And some people don't necessarily get that same support level from their family members. So I definitely want to, salute your mother as well as your father for really just being passionate about the mission and really just being a part of the vision as well. That's big. That's super, super big. So
Oh, I wake up grateful for them every day. Believe me. Whew.
oh yes, yes. Like, we love mom. We love mom for sure, man. Listen, you only get one. You only get one set of parents, so we want to treat them golden while they are here
Golden.
with us, for sure. So I got another question for you, okay? Now I asked about you offending others, but have there been a situation where you felt offended by someone and because of a misperception that they maybe had as far as you being on the spectrum?
Oh, that happens a lot. And there's a story with that too. So I had a friend, we don't talk much now, but she wasn't feeling the best. It was wintertime, you get sick, and I mean, that just happens. But I interpreted it as she didn't want to be around me, yada, yada, yada. I hate you, get away. When in reality, she was just sick and not feeling good and just not enthusiastic, which we all get that when we're sick.
That's true. That's true. So, I mean, and that's understandable, to misperceive situations, but it's all about how we move forward. We all make mistakes, right? But it's all about how we can move forward and just be apologetic when we know we may have offended someone or the opposite way around. So, what about relationships? Are they hard? Have you been having a hard time building relationships with people?
They aren't as hard now as they once upon a time were. They were once upon a time when in my younger ages. I probably would have rather preferred to be in the basement by myself. But nowadays, I'm like, okay, I want to be with people. But I have been able to grow and make friends. I have a lifelong friend, actually a couple of lifelong friends. One's based on blood, the other isn't. But as I gotten older and after I took the trip of not caring what I thought of you, the friendship started to evolve and I started to become more of a social bug versus me 15 years ago.
Okay,
That's
so
good.
so relationships. Speaking of relationships, hey, you got a girlfriend? I mean, what's that all about? Are you dating or what's that all about?
That's always what EA want to know, like
Uh,
what the
Yes,
personal life is about.
yes. What are you doing? What are you doing personally?
Personally, no girlfriend, no. Um, uh, broken hearts yet, I guess. Well, actually have had that before, but no, girlfriend, not that yet. I'm hoping to one day. I've done a lot of trying to put myself out there. I've done a lot of online dating, so that's
Okay,
what really works well. And I made some friends through it too. Well, at least
Okay.
they're friends.
Okay. Online dating. I mean, so yeah, you are the representation of the new generation. You know what I'm saying? I come from a whole different era. So yeah, online
Yeah.
dating. Okay. So how's that work with having autism?
Give me 1 second here.
So I guess one moment, you
Sorry.
all. It's
Sorry, I
okay.
had to shut the door.
No, you good.
Anyway, so you were asking about the new generation. Well, the problem is I tried the old generation and it didn't work for me. It just sucks that way. I mean, I tried it. Believe me, I really did. But let's just say the people where I am aren't the most accepting, so I made the friends that are going to be accepting here. That's not me being mean. That's just me being realistic.
Right, right. Hey, I like that. Man, I love your candor, bro. Hey, both conversations we had, spot on, man. That's why I said I had to have you on the Loyalty and Friends because I knew she could spread your mission. So tell us a little bit more about the mission, man. You said it's in April. Is tickets on sale already, or what are you trying to do? Are you raising money? What's the event's core mission?
Well, right here, it's going to be hard to read, but I'll read to you. The mission of
Yes.
Autism Rocks and Rolls is to take the stigma off of autism and other conditions that may think are disabilities. People on the spectrum are not broken and do not need to be fixed. Those who have conditions or abilities want to be pitied. There's nothing to be sorry about, but there's more to it. I want to help parents understand that diagnosis of autism is not to be dreaded news, show the positive side of autism, and celebrate and showcase the success of all people, assist other entrepreneurs, and recognize that there is no normal. It's simply not fair for anyone to determine that.
Amen. And I like that perspective.
Yes.
Love your outlook. And through your story, you're going to inspire others to kind of just step outside of their box and just be more willing to just be themselves and not care or who's going to judge them whatsoever, because the only person who can judge you is God himself. That's just my motto. So I feel like people should truly be who they are in the likeness that God has made them. So thank you for sharing that. So if someone wanted to actually support your event, what's the best way to support Sam? That's what we want to know.
Well, tickets are not out yet. To answer your question, we're still in the planning stages. We should be further, but we got so busy lately that we haven't like had the best time to plan. But we're definitely getting closer to where we were. So tickets are not out yet, but how they can support me as a whole, they can look on my Instagram page, which is Autism Rocks and Rolls Pod. What else is there? We also have Facebook, and your favorite media platform. So if you think I'm there, I'm probably there. Podbean, YouTube, Spotify, Pandora.
So what's your platform of choice? Everybody got their platform of choice. Where can I
Oh,
find you the most?
you can probably find me the most on Podbean. It's probably the best one to use because it'll probably pop up. But then also probably YouTube. It's a tie between those two.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm gonna
Yep.
definitely put some more attention to it. Man, shout out to my brother LP, man. He working that magic over there, man. He's showing me
Yes,
everything about you at the same time. I'm actually learning. I'm a student. I told you I'm a student. I got my notebook out. I'm only here to learn. So, brother, you are putting it down tonight. I appreciate you once again.
yes. Listen, we could not do this podcast without our brother LP, Mr. Larry Penn, for sure. And also support our brother. I mean, he has the Trigger Warning podcast as well. So again, man, without him, I don't think we could push this vision for sure. So
I think
thank
it's
you, LP, just for always being in support for sure, my brother, and just bringing this all to light for sure. It means a lot for sure. Thank you.
it was his birthday yesterday too. So yes, I want to
Yes,
definitely shout
happy
my brother
birthday, my
out,
brother.
man.
I didn't get to see. Oh, look, that's what
Hey,
I'm talking about. He
hey,
represents real. He got the Loyalty and Friends shirt, so you all can get those as well on the website. So you want to go to what is it? Go to my 10K card because the store is there, and you can go to loyalty10k.com. The link will be right there for the store if you want to purchase a shirt. Thank you, LP. I love that. And Sam, we got to get you one of those Loyalty and Friends because you are definitely a friend of ours, brother. I appreciate this. And this is only the beginning, okay? This is only the beginning of our interview because we got to travel over to Clubhouse too to give our audience over there some love and attention. And so they can also get to know more about you, Sam, because I think you are amazing. You are awesome. So
Yes.
yes, make sure y'all follow Sam for sure. Again, it is Autism Rock and Roll Pod. That is his Instagram, and I believe it's the same on Facebook as well as his other social media platforms. Okay, so yes, tap in, join his podcast, because he's here to really just give you a look in on autism as a whole, what they go through, what their daily challenges are. I think that's important because we can sit estimate and say what it feels like to be on the spectrum. Unless you speak to someone who's actually dealing with it, the best experience is life experience. So it's best to be educated through someone who's actually going through it. You know, I think that's the best way. What do you think, EA?
Hey, that's the only way. That's the American way.
All right, and we got about 3 more minutes. LP, do you have any questions before we wrap up this part of our interview?
I don't have any specific questions. I do want to say thank you to Sam for, you know, enlightening us on autism. We definitely want to have some more in-depth conversations about that. I know for me, being a paramedic, uh, that is something that I had to be hypersensitive and hyper aware on, having patients that were autistic or having Asperger's syndrome, or if they were even on the spectrum, ADHD or ADD. You know, those things we have to be trained on how to deal with those patients because they have special needs and special things that we need to be aware of. And like there's even a site that I'm going to show and share with you all real quick that is called Autism 101 for Paramedics/EMS, which stands for Emergency Medical Service. And this is from the Autism Spectrum Disorder Foundation. So if you go to myasdf.org, and I'll put the link into the chat on the social media, on your Facebook and your Twitter. It gives you some information on some insight to what I, as a first responder, would need to know if someone like Sam or anybody else that's on the autism spectrum would need emergency help, whether from a splinter to cardiac arrest or what have you. And so it gives you a bunch of facts and information on this site, and it just says that autism facts to know individuals with autism cannot be identified by appearance. They look the same as everyone else. They are identified by behavior. Autism is a spectrum disorder. It presents differently in each individual. What works for one individual with autism may not work for the other. And 50% of individuals with autism are nonverbal. So, you know, half of the patients that have autism, that a paramedic or an EMT or a firefighter or even a police officer. And I bring it up specifically because we know that in the media, there have been some of these events that have happened where some men and some people have been killed because the police did not take into account their special needs. I can think of Elijah McCain. He said he had some special needs, and that's been verified by his family. And so I'm going to put this link on your Facebook chat, and it'll spread across the other ones. But I just want to give people a sense that EMS touches every aspect of everything that you can think of. I can have a conversation about anybody, about anything from A to Z, and give you an EMS component to it. So, Loyalty, thank you again for touching and broaching the subject because it really needs to be highlighted a lot more. There are more and more people that are testing for autism and other special needs or special communities, or as a friend of mine who has a room in Clubhouse, the new term is differently able individuals. Differently able individuals. Mr. EA, you being a licensed mental health counselor, I'm sure this is, like you said, I know you're taking notes. I even heard you say it because this is what we do. Right. This is what we do. It's about learning. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about us helping our fellow humans.
And this is you all. We got more questions to come, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up because we got about 4 minutes to be over on Clubhouse. If you have not joined Clubhouse, come tap in. It is an audio room. So we are meant to be heard, not seen, okay?
And that's
But
the
it's
after party. That's the
amazing.
after party, y'all. So come on now.
Yes. Yes, indeed. But yeah, I got some more questions to dive into just to really get a really glance in, because we didn't get much on the first part, and this is the
Right.
second part of the interview. So we definitely want to tap in with some more questions to really get that awareness spread. So Sam, thank you so much, brother. We appreciate you for being here and just coming on the podcast. I want to follow up with you maybe in a few months just to see how your journey is going, about what you're doing with your foundation. I think that's so important that we continuously spread awareness. Okay, so yeah, let's definitely do a follow-up in maybe in a couple months to see where the journey is taking you so far.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be in the clubhouse
Awesome.
too, so I'm joining you. Woohoo.
Come on.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's
Yeah.
get it, guys.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and close this chapter of the interview out, right? And we hope to see you all on Clubhouse. Join the Loyalty and Friends Club. Thank you all. Nice to see y'all next time.